This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from Mid-Michigan Medical Center. I have Pam Dietz and Lisa Barnes. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Today we want to talk about the COVID vaccine and how it's playing out at Mid-Michigan Medical Center. And I know it's very important to you, the administration, Mid-Michigan, throughout the state of Michigan, to get their employees vaccinated. So start me out, Lisa. How's it going?
Well, it's going pretty good. We've done a total of, for the employees, we've done a total of about 496 employees out of about 900, which is, we've done about 53% of the employees.
Okay.
Some are opting for it, some are waiting.
Okay.
But otherwise, we've had a good response.
Okay. And now, Pam, you're also doing another part of the population. What population are you vaccinating now?
We're doing community.
Okay.
Our patients that go to Mid-Michigan providers, such as for their primary care or even their specialty care.
Okay.
And we've done a little over 1,500.
Wow.
That's first dose, and we have started the second dose last week we did. And then as far as for Mid-Michigan, with all of our clinics in the system, we've done over 10,500.
Amazing.
For the community. And we'll have another clinic this week and continue on.
Okay, and now I know you have Pfizer is the first round you had. Now you said you'll be going to Moderna?
Yep, now we have Moderna. We've had a couple of clinics so far. Out of the Moderna, I think we've had probably about 100, maybe 150 that we've dosed for employees, and we've also had some of the community members, dentist office, other doctor's office that have come in that we've also vaccinated.
You know, we've been very fortunate here, it sounds like, when I listen to the news on other places, to be able to get the vaccine, get it so quickly, get so much of it, and be able to vaccinate our community.
Yes.
And you know, as we talked before we started taping, you know, a mask is your really only defense, and now if you get the vaccine, you have two forms of defense, correct?
Correct. So you'll have you're going to build the antibodies, and so with the Pfizer, it's most effective, was 94 or 95% effective after 7 days after the second dose.
Okay.
With the Moderna, it's 28 days between the first and the second dose, and then it's most effective. It'll be 94.5% effective after the 14 days after your, 7 days after your second dose. So.
Okay, and I know you probably can't look into your magic ball and predict this, Pam, but when do you think vaccination will be out for the general population? Do you have any ideas?
I'm thinking more towards the summer, but it will certainly depend on the amount of vaccines that's available.
Okay. Now, will Mid-Michigan continue to do vaccines for the other populations, or are you the only for employees and first responder type people right now?
So for employee health, what we do is we'll continue to do any new hires, the volunteers.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of wean out of the clinics. Most of them will go to the MPG clinics.
Okay. All right. And then, so how do you know, like, when your next vaccine is coming? Who notifies you?
We find out, the state notifies the system, Mid-Michigan, and we usually find out late afternoon on Friday for the following week.
So you're making bunches of phone calls.
Oh,
we are. Although a patient can get on a wait list, we have wait lists that's available. And if you're a patient of Mid-Michigan and you have the portal, they can go onto the portal and sign up and get on the wait list. And also we have a COVID hotline number that a person can get on our internet at midmichigan.org, and they can call the COVID hotline and be put on the wait list also. So then as we have our vaccine clinics available, then the patient is contacted.
Lisa, if someone's had a positive COVID test in the past, should they still get the vaccine?
absolutely. They, are recommending that they waited 90 days. Now they're recommending within 10 days.
Okay.
So even if they have had a positive, to have them call their PCP, they can talk with their doctor, and as long as it's approved by them, they're more than welcome to get their shot.
Okay,
Their
sounds
second,
wonderful.
to start it. Mhm.
All right, and I have to say that I was one of the lucky ones that was able to get both of my vaccines. And, you know, I've been following the rules since the beginning. When they said self-quarantine, I did it. You know, when you wear a mask, I did it before they even really said to wear a mask, because my family's health was so important to me and my mother. You know, I see her every day. She's 91 years old, and, you know, I don't want to take any chances. But, you know, Pam, as we talked, we still see people in stores not wearing their masks. And I saw a store when I was out of town, and it said on the door, "Do not come in if you don't have a mask. If you can't get a family member to pick up your items, call us and we'll deliver to your home." So, I mean, they do not let anyone in without a mask. And, you know, it's pretty scary, the people who just figure it violates their civil rights. Well, you're not violating your civil rights. You're violating mine if you're in the store not wearing a mask. So, you know, I know the Mid-Michigan is wonderful about it. I mean, you go to the door, they check your temperature. You have to answer all the screening questions. And sometimes it's a pain if you go there more than once or twice a week. But, you know, thank you for doing that, for being diligent. That's wonderful.
We want people to continue to wear their mask, wash their hands, use their hand sanitizer, be conscious of everybody else that's around them.
And, you know, I would just like to say that I never had a reaction from either of my shots. I mean, somebody said something to me after I got my second one, like 3 days later, "Nancy, how did it go with your second shot?" I said, "Oh, I forgot I got it." I really did. I had no reaction whatsoever. I've talked to people who've had a little tiny bit of a reaction. Please don't not get your shot because you're worried about a reaction. I mean, it's not worth it. Don't play the game.
Yep.
Well, and the other thing that I'd like to mention is that even after you've received your second shot, still take all the precautions.
Yes.
Still wear your mask, wash your hands. You still have that 5% chance of contacting COVID again. So please, don't let your guard down.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you a question you may not know the answer to. The new strain that's coming out, how do you feel the Moderna and the Pfizer, as we know it now, will protect us against that strain?
And you know, I don't have the answer for that. I wish that I could. I really
knows.
No, I really don't. I think the more people that we do get vaccinated with the Pfizer and the Modernas that we do have now, I think we have a better chance to try and beat it just a little bit, but to build those antibodies. But otherwise, I'm sorry, I don't.
And for the people who are out there waiting for their shots, get on all the waiting lists, be diligent, listen to the news, you know, look at your computer, listen to the radio, because the information is out there and it's coming out pretty good too.
Yeah, just be patient. They will all get everybody by the end of the summer. I'm sure everybody will have an opportunity to get vaccinated.
Well, once again, thank both of you for being here and for everything that you're doing to protect our community. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be right back following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm with Leanne Bloom and Becky Wells, who are both from Second Chance Animal Shelter. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. And last time I had you on the show, you had gotten a wonderful donation and you were starting to really ramp up your shelter. How's it going?
It's coming great. We have renovations started now. We've got work happening, concrete's being broken up, framing's happening. There's a lot of activity going on, and we'll be showing some sneak peeks on our Facebook page soon.
Perfect. And Becky, you brought a little person with you today.
Yep. This is Cupid.
Okay.
She is one of many that we are helping from a horde. And we are trying to get them all spayed and neutered and find them homes.
Okay.
Yep.
And so if someone was interested in adopting Cupid, what would they have to do?
Well, Cupid is already adopted.
Oh.
But if when next time we have another adopt-a-thon, there'll be many kittens available to adopt.
And you just had a successful event, Leanne, a wonderful event.
Yes, we did. We had an event last Saturday. We had 8 very deserving kittens and kitteens. That's our teenage cats that are about 6 months old. And they all found amazing homes. So it was really wonderful to see them all finally get their happy ending.
That's terrific. And now I know you have an event coming up.
We do.
Tell us about
that. We have
that.
a fun little contest, a fundraiser we have that we have called the Second Chance Animal Shelter Battle of the Board. And Battle of the Board is all of our pets from board members. Of course, we have multiples, most of
Right.
us. So we did have to play favorites. And this fundraiser is everyone gets a chance to vote.
Okay.
So you can go to Great North Pet Supply.
Okay.
Or you can go to Cadridge Family Chiropractic.
Okay.
And each vote is $1.
All right.
And all the votes at the end will go into a drawing for some door prizes.
Ooh,
So there's
perfect.
something in it for the voters.
Okay.
And we encourage people to vote more than once.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Places you can vote as many times as you would like.
Well,
Yep.
yes, and I know that yours is Tucker and yours is Gracie.
Gracie.
Yes.
We get a plug in for our
Yeah,
pets
get
on
Yes.
a
here.
plug in, put $1 in for
Vote
each
for
one of them.
Tucker, vote for Tucker.
And it's $1 a vote.
Yes, it is, yeah.
That's, okay, good, and that'll help raise some money and.
Yep.
So right now you have, your animals are all being sheltered.
Yes, they're in our foster homes. We
Okay.
have an amazing foster network, families that have taken these animals in.
Okay.
So they're around kids, they're around dogs, other animals. So they're very, very socialized. So it's been working out really well for us to help until the shelter is open.
Okay, do you have a date out there somewhere when you think you'll actually be opened?
Well, I'm going to say summer.
Okay.
This summer, things have been going really good. A few shortages on materials and such.
Oh, yes.
But we're plugging forward. We keep fundraising. We've got a couple of different fundraisers
Okay,
going on.
tell us about those.
The one we have that's continuing is the Empties for Animals, which
Okay.
is cans and bottles. And people can drop those off at any time at Great North Pet Supply.
Okay,
Alone in 2020, we did $17,000.
that's amazing.
Amazing, isn't it?
We've had great community support.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we have that going. One of our other fundraisers is, and I have a little gift for you.
Oh, yay.
A little mask, a custom mask. Dr. Lauren Cadridge has been sewing her heart out.
She has.
Has made masks, reversible masks, as a fundraiser. And to date, we have raised over $10,000 from that
That's
sale.
amazing.
So we're a versatile board. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade, and we have taken a situation
We've had to,
that
yes.
was tough for everyone for fundraising, and we have just kicked it up. We want to help the animals. We want our shelter to be open, and we'll do whatever it takes to fundraise to make that happen.
So how do people buy these wonderful masks?
They can go to Cadridge Family Chiropractic anytime. We also post new patterns and designs on our Facebook page. People can comment, they're sold. But if you want one, anytime that Cadridge is open,
Okay.
you can just stop in, and they're $10.
Okay,
And all the money goes to our veterinary fund to help with medical expenses for the animals we have.
and you know, I think I say this to every person that comes on the show, but you know, the only probably good part about COVID, if there was a good part, is how people have been thinking outside the box, you know, coming up with new ideas, ways to reinvent themselves, better themselves. And you know, you folks are a prime example of that, you know, with the can and bottle drive and the selling of the masks and, you know, this contest. These are things that we can still social distance and still follow the rules.
Yes.
But
Yep.
participate in so that we can get the shelter up and running to take good care of the animals in our community.
Yep, that's why we're here.
That's
Our
where
whole
we're
board-
headed for,
Our
yep.
whole board is volunteer. We're animal lovers, just like all the people watching this show, and we want to do what we can. So
Okay.
we appreciate all the support we've got from the public. It's been amazing, and we're so grateful.
So other than financial needs, do you have any other needs right now?
We can always use kitty litter. That's
Okay.
quite a big thing. We
Okay.
do have a wish list that's posted on our page.
Okay.
You know, food and things like that. Donations to our medical accounts at Schweitzer
Okay.
Veterinary or to Sunrise. You know, all the animals we get, we'd like to say they're all perfectly healthy, but some of them do have medical issues
Sure.
that we take care of. So donations to those funds is always greatly appreciated.
Okay, and what about more volunteers? Do you need more foster families or volunteers?
We are always looking for
Fosters, for
foster
sure.
families, yes. If there's people, we have different time frames. Some are short-term, if it's kittens. If it's a pregnant mama cat, it's a little bit more long-term. And sometimes if it's an adult cat, you know, it can be a month or two. So we have different situations for fostering,
Okay.
Depending on what people can do and when. So get a
So
hold
what's
of
the
us.
best way to get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of us, again, through our Facebook page. If they want a phone, they can leave a message. Our number is 989-340-1700.
Okay, we're almost out of time, so hold that poster up one more
all right.
time.
Yep.
So Second Chance Animal Shelter,
Yeah.
Battle of the Board, come on into Cadridge Carpet or Great North Pet Supply,
Yeah.
$1 a vote, vote for these wonderful animals, and the
Yep.
money goes to a very, very wonderful cause.
And people can win prizes too.
Yes.
So
Yep.
win-win.
Okay, well, I want to thank both of you very much for being here. Thank you so much for what you're doing in our
Thank you for
community.
having us.
Yep.
And I'll look forward to the day when I can walk in the doors and see you in the
Yes.
shelter. I'll be excited.
It's coming soon.
It's coming soon.
Yay. Thank you both again.
Thank you.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Cindy DeRocher, AD, Athletic Director at ACC, doing a great job.
Thank you.
In some very challenging times. So, how are things going?
They're going well so far. You know, it's been a little challenge keeping our morale up through the longest practice season in history for basketball and volleyball. But at this point in time in February, it might be the first time we're still undefeated.
Well put, indeed. And finally, people may or may not know this, we're swinging in and having some games.
Yes, we are. We started last night with volleyball at home, and we came away with 2 victories. And I was trying to think of a couple words this morning to describe it, and team camaraderie and that excitement of adrenaline flowing again and the energy that athletics brings.
Yeah, yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is good. And it looks like the volleyball team has a number of good athletes, local women primarily, and they beat a team from a much larger school.
Yes, we did. We beat Schoolcraft, and it was an exciting game. And it was our first time live streaming a volleyball game, so if you missed it, you can go to our YouTube channel at ACC, and it's still up there, and watch it. We won the first game, and then we got behind in the second game, lost the first 2, but made a comeback and won the next 3. So Coach was really proud and really happy of her team, as she should be. And
yeah, she does a good job. The live streaming, so people could go to our ACC website, go to our YouTube channel, and they could watch the game.
Yep. Yes.
Wonderful. And I guess this follow-up question would be, due to health reasons, we're restricting restricting attendance.
Correct. Our conference rules are that no attendance other than the necessary personnel to be there. So the gym was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
And but a cool thing about volleyball, they cheer after every point, you know, so there was a lot of screaming and yelling and excitement. So
yeah. Do you flesh out that a little bit, that thinking? I hear people reflect on this point. You know, the attendance, who's allowed, who's not, what the conference's thinking is on that point.
Yeah. Part of some schools, you know, our conference is the state of Michigan, and some of the schools in the metro area and cities like Grand Rapids, they've seen a different picture than what we've seen as far as how COVID has affected their campus and the amount of people on their campus and how do you control. So, you know, those schools are saying if we can allow to have fans, we can't play in the league this year. So that was one of the priorities, but we've spent, since this whole thing started, how to plan, what were the precautionary steps we have to take. As you know, like in high school, every athlete has to wear a mask. Every athlete has to take a daily screening test to answer questions. When you come into the gym, before the away team gets in the bus, they have to go through that screening, get their temperatures checked.
Wow.
When they arrive at our gym, they go through the same process. Everybody that was in that gym last night, including our custodials, had to have their temperature checked. And so I think we're doing as precautionary things as we possibly can. So
yeah, well, I commend you for that. There's a lot of added responsibility and effort, and you make a great point. In the metropolitan areas, and we play them, and they play us. You know, there's been large swaths of people who have gotten COVID and passed from it. Correct. You know, so you know, as being part of a conference, you have to weigh the situations in some of the other schools as well, not just ours.
Correct.
And that's the explanation for why fans aren't being allowed into the games at this time.
Correct. And as we know, the spreaders are probably in the highest risk group and our contact sport, basketball. You know, in our local high school communities, it's our community. You get in college, you know, we have players coming from all different states and things like that. So there is a little bit higher risk. We have protocols also for if a student does contact becoming positive, their out of play is a lot longer than 2 weeks. They got to go through some medical tests, and so it gets a little complicated. But safety's number one.
It is, absolutely, it is number one. You know, 19 or 20-year-old people who feel like they can conquer the world, that nothing can happen to them, may feel like they can overcome this, or what's the big deal, but there are a number of other folks that you have to factor in and
Correct.
think about. And so great work on that regard. You mentioned hoop. That's coming up here soon.
Yes, basketball season starts a week from today. We travel down to Delta and play our first games, and we're excited about that. And our conference in basketball has changed a little bit because we did have a few schools drop out on the west side to leave that in balance, you know, versus 9 and 9. So we now have 3 conferences within the conference, and so we're in the North Conference, 4 teams, us, Delta, Mott, and St. Clair. And then there's the Metro, and then we have the West Side. So we have 3 smaller conferences. So this year in our, I think we have 13 games scheduled, and we'll actually play Muskegon once, and Grand Rapids once, and a couple of the Metro teams, Henry Ford and Wayne, we won't play. So
yeah,
a little bit different.
There's some young men and women on campus who've been practicing basketball for a long time, wearing masks, I see, while they're playing. That's hard to imagine, but true.
Yes.
Who are anxious to get out there and compete.
Correct, yeah. Our scheduling for basketball, our conference ADs put different phases in. We're now in the 4th phase of the scheduling, to just show you, you know, and our teams came in the fall like things as normal, and they started conditioning in September.
Yeah.
So it's been the longest practice season in history. So.
Well, indeed, we got just a couple of seconds left. Of course, we have cross country in the fall, and
yes.
We got, you know, we got a little bit of news there.
Yeah, we got some big news coming this week. I don't want to steal Coach's thunder, but we're number 1 in a category that's probably the most important category that our student athletes can be in. So stay tuned this week, and you're going to hear some big news coming out of our cross-country program. Well,
congratulations to Mark and his team and all the teams and your management of them. You're doing great work in a very trying time, so thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.